I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Donald Trump is exploding with rage after news broke that the Manhattan criminal grand jury voted to criminally indict him. Let's take a look at what Donald Trump is posting on his social media platform. He wrote the following: "These thugs and radical left monsters have just indicated the 45th President of the United States of America and the leading Republican candidate by far for the 2024 nomination for president. This is an attack on our country, the likes of which has never been seen before. It is likewise a continuing attack on our once free and fair elections. The USA is now a third world nation, a nation in serious decline. So sad." Look, Donald Trump hates the United States of America. All he does is speak about how much he hates America, that America is a failure, how much he loves Vladimir Putin, how much he loves President Xi, how much he loves Kim Jong-un, how much he loves all of our enemies. We get it. You are a wannabe fascist and you love our enemies and perhaps work for our enemies. That's what it certainly seems like. And here you are saying that this is an attack on our country and that this is election interference. No, you committed a crime and you are not above the law. Period. No one in this country is above the law. And this is the first of many criminal cases that you are going to be charged with. So buckle up. Here's Donald Trump's next post. He goes, "They only brought this fake, corrupt, and disgraceful charge against me because I stand with the American people, and they know that I cannot get a fair trial in New York." You see that already? He's already trying to set up the conspiracy when he loses the case in New York to say, you see, I'll never get a fair trial in New York. That's why they're bringing it in New York. I'll never be able to win there. This is the deep state. And he's already setting up the fact that he knows he's a loser. He knows he committed the crime. He knows he's going to be found guilty. And that's why he's saying, I'm never going to get a fair trial in New York, because he is a completely whiny, traitorous loser. Just if you want to see like what his cult followers respond to this, I just looked like what were the posts right under this. So this was one of his cult followers who calls herself Lara45, who goes, "With indicting President Trump, they are attacking all of us. This is an attack on our freedom, democracy, and country." This cult is one of the weirdest cults. This is the next post that he makes. He goes, "These corrupt Democrat prosecutors, all from poorly run and very dangerous Democrat-run cities, are not going to choose the Republican nominee or the next president of the United States." And let's be very clear. The places with the most crime are red states, are Republican-led cities, Republican-led counties. Just look at Kevin McCarthy's district in Bakersfield. Highest crime rate, highest homicide rate, kind of most drug proliferation, highest police shooting deaths per capita in the entire United States. And look, crime is down in New York. Let's be clear. Crime is down in New York. But continue to spread your disinformation. Then I looked at the posts below this from the cult followers just to see what they would post. And this cult follower, Tracy Johnson, writes, "Donald Trump live indicted, new information about arrests Biden, no Trump. Trump is coming back when soon. You will get to know the whole truth. Live stream that will change America." I mean, these people are out of their mind. These people are out of their mind. This is weird QAnon cult behavior. Like here's another post that they made. Just watch and take a look at this. They have Donald Trump dressed like whatever. You have Donald Trump. They put a weird crown on his head. This is from these posts. If you scroll down and you look at like what are the people commenting on this like social media thing that where he posts, Truth Social, whatever the hell he calls it. By the way, in Russia, they called their main In communist Russia, they called their main periodical Pravda, truth, where they would spread lies. And that's why Donald Trump calls it that, Pravda. And you see this is where he has a crown on his head, and this is what they're posting. This is about replacing a failed and corrupt political establishment with a new government controlled by you, the American people. And they dress like a king. You do realize how America was founded, right? To reject this authoritarianism and insanity. But there you have it. Oh, and here this one person commented, I'm not going to read this whole thing because it literally makes me sick, but one of the comments, DJT, the ultra MAGA king, you never cease to amaze us, bringing dark to light, always doing what's right, and your words continue to raise us. They tried dragging us down, and they put in this clown, but we're strong and nothing can faze us. And you're keeping it fun to be American, so keep coming up with those genius phrases. I mean, this is, folks, I'm not going to read the rest of that. This is completely and utterly deranged. Here is the, he posted this. This was a post that he made as well. This is a press release. He goes, statement by Donald J. Trump, 45th President of the United States of America. He goes, this is political persecution and election interference at the highest level in history. From the time I came down the golden escalator at Trump Tower, and even before I was sworn in as your president of the United States, the radical left Democrats, the enemy of the hardworking men and women of this country, have been engaged in a witch hunt to destroy the Make America Great Again movement. You remember it just like I do. Russia, 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 Mueller hoax, Ukraine, 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 impeachment hoax 1, impeachment hoax 2, the illegal and unconstitutional Mar-a-Lago raid, and now this. By the way, a list of all of the crimes that he engaged in. And you want to talk about hardworking men and women of America? How about just the fact that your tax cuts for the billionaires, is that for the hardworking men and women of America, where you gave all of the benefits to the billionaires and you increased our deficit by $7 trillion? I mean, how about the fact that Democrats in the pro-democracy community is actually focused on raising wages for hardworking men and women and improving working conditions for hardworking men and women, as you try to destroy unions and try to take away the jobs of hardworking men and women? You know, Democrats are creating infrastructure projects. Like, let's just talk about what the actual facts are. But complete gaslighting. And then this is how Donald Trump just lists all of the crimes that he committed. And then Donald Trump goes on to say, the Democrats have lied, cheated, and stolen in their obsession with trying to get Trump, but now they've done the unthinkable, indicting a completely innocent person in an act of blatant election interference. By the way, at least Donald Trump spells indicting, I guess, correctly, and he doesn't write indicating, and it's not election interference. It is the fact that you committed crimes. You are not above the law. Period, full stop. That's our system. That's our system. Donald Trump goes on to say, never before in our nation's history has this been done. The Democrats have cheated countless times. This is all lies. Democrats have cheated countless times over the decades, including spying on my campaign. No, they didn't, but weaponizing our justice system to punish a political opponent who just so happens to be a president of the United States and by far the leading Republican candidate for president has never happened before, ever. Then he has a quote, I guess he's quoting himself. Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg, who was handpicked and funded by George Soros, is a disgrace. He's got to put the anti-Semitism in there. Rather than stopping the unprecedented crime wave taking over New York City, by the way, that's false. There isn't an unprecedented crime wave in New York. Crime is down in New York. He's doing Joe Biden's dirty work. That's completely false. Ignoring the murders and burglars and assaults he should be focused on. Again, that's completely false. This is how Bragg spends his time. Completely false. I believe this witch hunt will backfire massively on Joe Biden. It's nothing to do with Joe Biden. The American people realize exactly what the radical left Democrats are doing here. Everyone can see it. So our movement and our party, united and strong, will first defeat Alvin Bragg, then we'll defeat Joe Biden. And we're going to throw every last one of these crooked Democrats out of office so we can, then he puts all in caps, make America great again. Really? Your party is united? Your party is a cult. You have a small group of Trump cult followers that represents about 20-25% of the United States of America. Everyone else who's not a part of your cult is a rhino to you, or a uniparty Republican, or whatever you call them, and you've utterly destroyed what the Republican Party was and made them into this bizarre Trumpian MAGA QAnon cult. But notice at the bottom of that press release what it says: paid for by Donald J. Trump for President 2024 Inc. Why? Because it's all a grift, people. It's all a grift. Because look at the next post. Sponsored, and this is what they do. It's the deep state and fake news will do everything in their power to destroy me. Chip in, join now. Donate to Donald Trump. Make a contribution. Become a founding member of Donald Trump. That's what it's all about, folks. That's what he's trying to do here. By the way, I want to read this last one for you that he posted just the other day, just to show you how completely deranged and all of the disinformation, how vile and appalling he is, and all the disinfo that he spreads. This is what he posted. He goes, this was a day ago, 2 days ago, before he was indicted. This is what he posted on his social media platform. By the way, I did a whole hit on it on the MeidasTouch Network YouTube, where I talked about why Donald Trump was doing it. So you should watch that video on our YouTube channel. But here's what he writes. He goes, I have gained such respect for this grand jury, and perhaps even the grand jury system as a whole. The evidence is so overwhelming in my favor and so ridiculously bad for the highly partisan and hateful district attorney that the grand jury is saying, hold on, we are not a rubber stamp, which most grand juries are branded as being. We are not going to vote against a preponderance of evidence or against large numbers of legal scholars, all saying there is no case here. Drop this sick witch hunt now. Really? Really? That's what the grand jury said. By the way, do you even know what the word preponderance means? You just throw the word preponderance in there. Is that what the grand jury was doing? Or was that just more of the disinformation you were feeding your cult to spread your deranged QAnonish conspiracy theories? It is utterly despicable, but no person is above the law, period, including you. And this is just the beginning. Alvin Bragg has now will be criminally charging Donald Trump. The Manhattan grand jury's voted to indict. We're going to likely see indictments from Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis. That's to come very soon. We are also likely going to see criminal indictments from Special Counsel Jack Smith very soon. In addition, the E. Jean Carroll civil defamation and civil rape trial set to take place April 25th of this year. New York Attorney General Letitia James' civil fraud lawsuit against Donald Trump set to take place October 2nd of 2023. The Dominion trial defamation case against Fox set to take place in April. Folks, we are going to be busy as the wheels of justice turn in the right direction towards justice. I'm Ben Meiselas. Thank you so much for watching. Hit subscribe. We are on our way to 1.5 million subscribers here. We just went past 1 million subscribers thanks to your incredible support. So please hit subscribe. Also, wherever you get your audio podcast, you should check us out. Just search MeidasTouch Podcast. You can also search Legal AF Podcast. You can also search Political Beatdown Podcast. You can also search Lights On Podcast. Also search The Weekend Show Podcast, Majority 54 Podcast, Politics Girl Podcast. The podcast network is growing and growing strong. Check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch, patreon.com/MeidasTouch. Also on Instagram, check us out at MeidasTouch as well. Thank you so much for watching this. Now hit subscribe on YouTube. It's free to subscribe. Share these videos. Share this network with friends, family, colleagues, coworkers, anybody you know. Let's support our democracy together. I'm Ben Meiselas, and thank you so much for watching. Hit subscribe.
Lock him up! Indictment season is upon us. Celebrate with the new Indictment season t-shirt and v-neck exclusively at store.meidastouch.com.